London is the capital city of England and the UK. It's the southeast of Britain and this world region covers around 1,579 kilometers. The population of the city based on 2019 poll is 8,982 million people. When we talk about the politics instance of London, we talk about the type of government of the UK. That's its constitutionality, monarchy based parliamentary democracy. This divides the whole country in four constituent countries.
Some relevant cities around London are Birmingham, Leeds, Glasgow, Manchester, Liverpool and Sheffield. The popularity of these cities is mostly because of their populations and the beautiful sceneries and buildings that are all around. I tend to see the Port of London lapses along the riverbanks of the Thames River, England to the North Sea.
The original name of London was Londinum. It was the name that the Romans gave to the city they founded close to the Celtic villages of London in Britain, now England. The city was built in a place inhabited by Aborigines who called London to the palace. Those Celtics had chosen the place as a site for their commercial activities.
Londinium continued to develop, becoming one of the richest cities in the Roman Empire. But when the Saxons invaded Britain in the 5th century, there were a lot of fights in the country. Londinium was defended more than any other city, but at the end of the century the city was already shambles with a small population. However, in the 7th century seemed to have regained its splendors. The Saxons named it the capital of their new kingdom, and from it started to appear the rest of the cities around London that we know today.
Gastronomy. Some of the most famous dishes that we can find in London are fish and chips. Consist of a quite big piece of breaded fish that is accompanied by French fries. It's as simple as it sounds, but it's not only the most representative food from London, but the whole world UK. Crumble pie. The crumble is a juice mix between flour, sugar, and butter that you put on top of the fruit in which the pie is made. Skipping the crumble is just a regular pie usually made of apple or berries. The afternoon tea. The most representative drink in the whole of England consists of an old tradition that remarks on these days. It's quite simple though. Around the 19th century, the people used to drink a cup of tea accompanied by various delicacies, usually served in the afternoon. The most common flavor of the tea is named English breakfast tea. It is just black tea mixed with milk or warm water.
Some famous places for tourists in London are Coca-Cola London Eye is the biggest well of fortune in the world, with 32 capsules that weigh around 10 tons and about 25 persons can enter each one. London's Tower, being of the most famous buildings in the world, this tower around 900 years of existence, and inside of it you can find the room of the king, or be astonished be the sign of the jewels of the princess crown.
Then we have the Shard. This is the highest building of the Western Europe, with 310 meters of height. You can watch almost the whole city of London while being on the ceiling of the building, and you can watch all around it and you can find a lot of places, a lot of buildings, a lot of streets. You can watch almost all the city basically. And finally, we have the Madame Tussauds London. This place is the most famous wax museum in the world, where you can find the most famous people, from Shakespeare to Lady Gaga, a lot of influential people from London and Hollywood as well. Almost any famous person in the world that you know, probably you will find it here. Doesn't matter if he's an actor, an actress, a politician, a singer, any person that is famous, you will find it in this place.
In London exists and existed many famous people in all kinds of fields. Some of the most remarkable ones are Charles Darwin and Isaac Newton for science, Shakespeare for poetry, Winnie Pooh and Harry Potter in fantasy.